My name is Uncle Hannah, and today we're going to be making confetti corn, seared steak with the gravy from the dripping, and then some seared asparagus. So I am 13 years old, almost 14, and then I love to cook because I was put on a low sodium diet because I'm waiting for a heart transplant. And so then I've been cooking low sodium for about close to a year. So I am going to be showing you how to make all of this. So I'll be back with you when we're ready to start. So now let's get started. I got my two friends, Chef Christina and then Chef Lyle.
Hello, I'm Chef Lyle.
So now we're going to be seasoning the steak with salt and pepper. So let's grab the salt and pepper, grab some salt, season it generously. You want to know, because the thicker the meat, the more seasoning you need. So about that much on that side of salt.
Perfect.
And then a little pepper to give it that good peppery flavor. And don't worry, some of the seasoning gonna come off when you sear it, and then we're gonna make a gravy out of that, and that's gonna make a good gravy. So then just put a little bit more pepper, and then flip it over. What you might want to do is rub it in a little bit sometimes to make sure it stays in. So flip it over and then grab some more salt. Don't over season it or under season. And then just keep on seasoning a tad bit more salt because you want to be able to see some white like this. And then now we're going to add some pepper. Season it generously. And then no more pepper on this one. So then we seasoned it with salt and pepper. Gonna rub it in a tad bit to make sure the seasoning stays on right now. And then this is what you want it to look like. And then, so now Chef Lyle, we're gonna sear it in a pan.
So we're gonna sear this off for you. So the first thing we're gonna do is make sure that we get our pan hot. So we have a burner on, we're gonna get it hot. The reason that you want your pan hot so you don't start with the cold, it takes twice as long for it to heat up, right? So you want a hot pan. Now we're gonna add a little bit of oil. We've got a little bit of a mixture of olive and canola oil. We're gonna add about a tablespoon to our pan to sear our steak off in. And Hunter was right about the seasoning on this. When you add your seasoning, it's okay to be a little bit generous because when we have some of the seasoning on here, it's actually going to come off in the pan. So it's actually okay to do what you did. That was a perfect seasoning on that too, by the way. Nice job.
Thank you.
All right. So while we're searing this off and getting this ready, let's get the pan nice and hot. We're going to sear this off, and then we're going to finish it in the oven, and we'll work on some of our other stuff. I understand that you have a killer joke to tell us while we're in the middle of this.
Oh, yeah.
You want to tell us?
What? Why was the onion so hot?
I don't know. Why was it so hot?
It was wearing too many layers.
Oh, jeez, boo. That was a good one, actually. I like that one. All right, nice job. So what we're going to do is start searing these off in our pan, right? And this is called a sear. We have other types of way to make steaks too, like grilling, right? What's your favorite way to eat a steak? Do you like it seared in the pan? Do you like it grilled? How do you like it?
The best way to do a steak, in my opinion, is have it at a high heat where you get a good nice brown and smoky flavor a little bit.
Yes.
Grilling it so hot or searing it so hot,
Correct.
that makes it good. And some people make roast out of certain steak or jerky.
So when you get the sear on the steak, that nice sear, that brown that you're talking about, that's actually the natural sugars in the steak. And it's searing and creating flavor, so caramelizing on the outside of the steak. That's where you get your flavor from. So that's why it's so good, right? So that's why you like to sear, because the nice hot sear, you get that nice flavor on it.
Yeah.
Very well done. Yes, that's how we like to do it.
Yep, kind of like the golden brown and brown.
Perfect.
Or dark brown.
All right, so we're going to sear this a little bit on both sides, and we're going to finish it in the oven. And while we do that, then we can start working on our confetti. Chef Christin will help you with that. And while you're doing that, I'll go get the asparagus ready. So as we're moving forward, we can talk a little bit about the confetti.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to sear this over, as you see. Give it a little bit more color on each side. It's not enough color we want on it. We want more color. Right, Hunter? More color than that, for sure, right? We're going to do a little more color on there. We'll get it nice and caramelized, just the way you like it. Looks good already, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And that's how we do this.
So
Now,
Hunter, I heard you had a lot more jokes for us. Why don't you tell us a couple more of them, okay?
Okay. So, what do you get when you cross a pony and a root vegetable?
What do you get when you cross a pony and a root vegetable? I don't know.
A horseradish.
Oh, jeez. Good one. Another good one. Good one. I like that one. That was a good one.
Yeah. This is a joke book my teacher got me, and it's funny.
That's a very good teacher.
See there? Now we're getting some nice color on there, right?
Yep.
That good enough for you, or do you want to go a little more? What do you think? Go a little more?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
The more the better.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Hunter, thank you. All right, so we're going to sear this a little bit longer. We're going to pop this whole thing in, get this going, and you guys can work on the confetti, okay? Now, we did what we did a minute ago. We started this, what we call when everything is ready. When we have everything ready, what do we call this procedure? Remember, we talked about it earlier.
Mise en place.
Yeah, mise en place. Very good. Nice job. So this is our mise en place right here. Everything that we prepared before we got started. That way, when we get ready to cook, we're always ready. We're not running around trying to chop up a bunch of stuff because we're ready to do this.
Yep, mixing the garlic, chopping the onion, the asparagus the way you need it, and the bell peppers.
I even use pasta on my home, not even when I get that work. It's helpful when you're cooking, so you're like boom, 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 and then you help you with cleanup because everything's done already for you, and you just like cook a lot, throw in the dishwasher.
All right, Hunter, here's our steak. We're going to pop this in the oven, right in the pan, okay? We got a oven ready. So pop one here.
I'm going to scoop out the other side and pop this in the oven.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead and start working on your corn confetti.
Okay.
So while she's doing that, we're going to wait for our steak to cook. What's the temperature we're going to cook our steak at today?
Yes, then maybe like 150, I'm guessing.
Okay, so that gets us about a medium well, perfect size. That's exactly right. That's the perfect temperature.
Okay.
Perfect.
I didn't guess.
That's it. That's it. Exactly one. Nice job, chef.
Thank you.
Okay, are we ready to start confetti corn?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's move some of our mise en place closer to us, okay?
Okay.
So we got our veggies here. We got bell peppers, onions, shallots. Now shallots are a weird vegetable. We actually have one whole right here. It's a combination between garlic and onions. So it's actually milder than an onion and has a little bit of garlic flavor as well. So we have some shallots cut up as here, and then we're also going to be using some of this garlic right here. Okay.
A lot of garlic and onion here.
Oh yes.
One time
It's
I
good
made
for the
rice
soul.
and gravy, and I put almost a whole jar of garlic, like almost half a jar of garlic, and I was like, oh my, I'm not doing that again.
A little, what you said was a little strong with garlic. What you say?
Huh?
A little strong with garlic, was it?
Okay.
So much.
So we got our pan good and hot. So we're just gonna turn it down. We're gonna add a little bit of oil, probably about a tablespoon. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna swirl it on, and a little trick I like to do when I'm making this, I also add a little bit of butter to it. This way you get the butter flavor throughout the whole dish. Okay.
Mm.
So we're just gonna use 1 tablespoon of butter.
That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
We said we like butter, right?
Yeah.
Trust me, you
Yes,
can never
sir.
go wrong with onions, butter, and wine cooking. I promise you. It will just make all the stuff taste better.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yeah, wine goes good with beef, lamb, and maybe duck, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that.
Oh.
I'm good with the duck.
Yeah.
I never cooked duck, and I only cooked lamb once with my mama when we did the big old breast.
Yeah. Did you like the lamb?
It had a little too much fat.
Okay, so be a little strong.
So right now I'm going to sear the garlic, the shallots, and a little bit of onions, okay? Now I'm going to turn it up a little bit because I want to get it nice and start the caramelization process, because just like steak, onions, shallots, and garlic have a lot of natural sugars in them, so they tend to brown very nicely. So you ever had those caramelized onions or even like a burger?
One time I ate a burger and it was raw onions and it was bitter.
Maybe not raw onions, but we can get these brown, almost looking like the color of this sometimes. And then those are caramelized onions, and they're really sweet when you're eating them. And you're like, oh, these must have sugar in it, but it's really just the onion.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
Yeah. One time me and my dad was cooking something with sweet onions, and we were like, why is it so sweet? And then we were like, uh-oh.
Oh yeah. There's lots of different varieties of onions. You have the sweet onions, and then you have the white and yellow onions, which are usually the ones more people use.
Yeah.
So you always can know which onion you're using and which flavor you're trying to get at the end.
Yeah, because a lot of times I normally use white onions or yellow onions. Sometimes red onions or pickled onions. One time another chef that was teaching me a cooking class, and then I asked her how she made the pickled onions, because I was nom. And then she told me, and then me and my dad made it, and oh, it was good.
So right now you see how we're starting getting a little bit of brown, right? Then you smell all that fun flavor, right?
Ooh, that smells good.
Right. Just smells great. So now we're going to add some bell peppers to it, okay? And we're going to do the same process. We want to cook them until they're all blended together.
I have a question.
Yes.
So why you add the bell pepper after the onions and stuff? Shouldn't that take longer to cook?
Theoretically, it should take longer, but I also like my little bell peppers to be a little bit more crunchy than my onions, so I want to be more soft. So how you add things depends how soft you want things in. And onions, garlic, and shallots tend to add a little bit more depth of flavor, so you tend to want to add them first and then all your ingredients.
It'll give a nice texture.
The texture as well as flavor. Because the more you cook down onions, garlic, and shallots, the more developed your flavor is. And then, like, if you're tasting something, you're like, oh, this is really good, it's probably because it starts with onions, garlic, just goes down.
Yeah, the more flavor, the better.
Exactly. Okay. Now we can see how our bell peppers are starting to get a little soft and sweated. We also have our onions and garlic starting to brown. So now we're going to add our corn. Now you can use fresh corn, you can do fresh frozen corn, whichever corn makes sense to you. Usually I like to make this first part of summer when the corn's the freshest, and then you can just get the sweetest confetti corn you've ever tasted.
Oh yeah, sweet corn makshu is good.
Oh.
My mama makes some good makshu.
Makshu, we love it.
Yeah, and I made some makshu too. They're both pretty good.
Okay. So we're just going to let this cook, okay? And we kind of want the corn to get soft with a little bit of chew still, okay? At home I usually do this in a cast iron pan, so it actually gets a little bit brown and burnt on it a little bit too, so it's like it came straight from the grill, and it's like, it's amazing to eat. I had it the other day for dinner, I'm not going to lie.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love making jambalaya on my dad's cast iron pot. Because I did it outside. Oh, that was the first time I ever made it, and I did my YouTube video. That was so good. And I got a YouTube video, YouTube channel called Uncle Hunter that you can type in on YouTube, where I cook some low sodium food. And it's real delicious.
I'm sure it is.
Oh,
So what we're going to do now is we have some fresh herbs that you brought in from your own garden.
Oh yeah.
So what do we have here? We have a little bit of, tell everybody what we're using right here.
So we're using some basil.
Yep. And then
some green onion.
Yep.
Called parsley. And I think that's it, right?
That's what we have, yep.
Okay.
So we have a little basil, parsley, and green onion we're going to add to our confetti to give it a little bit more flavor.
Yeah, the fresher, the better. Good.
All right. So why don't you bring the pen over and let's add our fresh garden green onion, and please add the basil and parsley too.
Oh yeah.
Look how awesome that looks. That green in there looks so good.
Y'all want me to add all of it?
Add it all.
Oh yeah, add it all.
What did we say? More the better, right? The fresher
Yeah.
the better. That's going to be
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, because this will bring out all the other flavors in the dish.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So we're just gonna swirl it together real quick. And we're actually not gonna put it back on the heat because the residual heat and all the corn and everything will cook the herbs. Okay? And if you
okay.
cook it more, the herbs will go brown.
Do we throw in a little seasoning?
I
Like
did throw in a
salt?
little salt and pepper while you were talking about your herbs. We can always add more. You
Okay.
can also, if you're using more not so sweet corn, you can add sugar as well to it just to get the nice sweet flavor.
Oh yeah, like a pinch or something.
Just a little bit, little pinch, teaspoon.
Mm.
When you're cooking, a little bit of sugar goes a long way, especially when you're cooking savory.
Oh yeah. I always do that in tomato because my mom said that her mom always told her to put a pinch of sugar when you're using tomato, and that's what I do in my enchilada too.
That's very true.
All right, so we're going to put this on a plate. But we're going to let you plate all this food, Uncle Hunter, because I'll tell you what, I saw some pictures of your food earlier, and it was absolutely amazing. So you're going to get to plate all this wonderful food today. And what we want to do is go ahead and start getting this. You probably need that for our put asparagus in there. We're going to put this in the oven just for a minute. Keep it warm. Then we're going to pop our steaks out here in a minute, and you can start doing our plates because we're almost finished. And the best part about the end of this, what we get to do,
We got to eat.
we get to eat. It's going to be so awesome.
Oh yeah.
Are you ready to start our asparagus?
Yep. Yeah.
Ready? Okay, again, we're going to start with our olive oil canola, just a little bit, okay? And see how it's getting smoky? It means it's perfect to start, okay? Now, we wanted to do seared asparagus, but we wanted a smoky flavor, right?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So we
well,
actually have smoked paprika. So smoked paprika is actually the pepper is smoked first, and then it's dried, dehydrated, and then ground. Okay? So that's how it gets this nice smoky flavor, like you just walked into a barbecue. Right?
Oh, that smells
And
so good.
this is Hunter's deal. This is what he
Oh
wants.
yeah, this is what you
awesome.
wanted.
Yep.
Okay? So we got our pan getting nice and hot here. Okay? And then we're just gonna kind of shock them in the oil, right?
Yep. And that also, in my opinion, the best kind of smoky flavor for jambalaya is smoked paprika thrown in a ton in jambalaya. That's how I do my jambalaya.
I'm also gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper, okay?
Okay.
Just a little bit. Just keep it a little bit.
Yeah, to give it that flavor.
Yeah, just a little bit of flavor.
And how do you want to cook it?
I tend to make a lot of my vegetables al dente because I really want to taste the vegetable itself. But you can always cook it further, more on the soft side. You can always cook them more.
Yeah.
But my whole family, we like to eat the al dente vegetables just because we like the texture of them. So we're always going to have them a little more under the knife.
That sounds good.
Because then you get like the crunch of the asparagus still, and you get all the flavors, and then you're just like, oh, this is a really good texture combination to like stir the corn.
So you want to cook it where it's starting to get soft, but you get it after the crunch?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's how I do it, but if you want to cook them a little bit more, I have no problem cooking them more.
We can try it and
You can try it both ways and cook them more,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah, we could try it both ways if you want. And see which one's better.
There you go. See which one's better.
Because sometimes when something is cooked more, it'll absorb that flavor. Kind of like a sponge absorbs water and soap. When you soak it in something, and you squeeze it, and you see bubbles come out, and then it just soaks up all the water and soap. Just like a sponge.
Yeah, it's just like a sponge sometimes. Okay. So, now that the asparagus is starting to brown a little bit, I'm actually going to pull it out. You'll see right here. Still green, still vibrant.
That's good. Pop that and keep it warm in the oven. Let's make our pan sauce.
Okay. Yes, yeah.
All right, so now our steak's just about done. Put this to the side. We're going to make a sauce in the pan. We're going to test it so we know it's about done. About medium well right now. Keep it warm.
I didn't know you could check it like that.
Yeah, I'm going to show you when we take it out. I'll show you how to check it. We're going to teach somebody a new way to check the temperature of meat.
Okay.
All right. So the really cool part, we talked about all those little pan drippings in here, right? So you get some nice pan drippings. You're going to give it a little flour, so you want them to make it, we'll start with what we call, and what do you call fat and flour together when we make that? What is that called?
A roux.
That's called a roux, correct. So we're going to add a little of this in.
Yeah, you don't want to burn the flour, I'm assuming, right?
Now,
No scorching.
correct. But you know, there are different types of roux. There's a blonde roux, which is what we're making now. And there's a brown roux, which is something they might use when you make gumbo. So what we're gonna do is cook this roux down just a little bit so our sauce is a little darker.
Yeah. Oh, are we gonna put some vegetables in there?
We're gonna put a little onion in there, and make sure we have a nice roux. So what we have, what this does is it thickens your sauce. So fat and flour, and you add our liquid to it. It helps thicken our nice pan sauce we're gonna make.
Yeah. Well, question.
Go for it.
After we make the roux, are we gonna add some wine or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually add a little bit of wine to it right now.
And don't worry, it gets all cooked out.
All the alcohol in it gets cooked out. That's correct. You're right. So we're gonna add a little bit of our wine to this.
Well, no one's getting drunk.
No. See how it's starting to make the sauce already?
Oh yeah.
You smell that? Isn't that wonderful? I love it. I love it. Now we're gonna add a little bit of beef stock, okay?
Okay. Yes, sir. Smell. Yes, sir. It smells like what do you call it? Dough. Oh.
All right, so we're gonna cook this down. See how we have started a sauce made, and see all the little drippings in the pan? That's that flavor we were talking about. That all came off of that steak that we seared in the pan.
So are we gonna get like a spatula or something to scrape that up?
Yeah, so that's what I did when you hit it with our wine. It brought all of that stuff in. It's what that's called in the bottom of that is called fond de lait or fondant, which means it's the brown flavoring that's down in the bottom.
Oh, I thought that meant like drippings or something. Does it?
It is. It's pan drippings. Exactly. Same thing. Same thing.
Okay.
So now what are we going to add to the end of this we talked about? What are we going to finish the sauce with?
We're gonna finish it off with some vegetable, I'm assuming, right?
Well, we're going to actually do, we talked about it. Remember we say everything's better with what? Butter?
Oh yeah,
So
butter.
we're going to add a little bit. And we add cold butter to our warm sauce. And swirl it around. It gives us a nice texture. See how we're making our sauce already? It's starting to come around.
Good, that's a good thickness.
Right?
Too. I like that color.
Now we have this wonderful sauce we're going to pour over the steak. So I'm going to get the plate out for you, and guess what? It's time for you to start plating this wonderful dish
Oh yeah.
that you created and that we're happy to help you with.
Okay. Thank you. Do you want to put the steak in it for a minute?
We sure can. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, because that's how I
Would you
give
grab
it
me
now.
that steak? I'll put them in here.
Yeah, it gives it a good flavor. A more
I think that's a great idea. So look at this. Not only did we sear the steak, but now we're going to finish it in the sauce. Great idea, Hunter.
Oh, I know that.
Look at that. That's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, and what
Over
we're
the
going to
steak.
do, we grab the dripping and put it in there too.
Put the rest back in there?
Yes, sir.
Now that is all flavor, isn't it? You can't go wrong with that. You cannot go wrong with that. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I always
Good
make
call.
sure. Yeah, when I'm cooking, I make sure I get pretty much every like drop of that.
Now this is very. Now where are you from?
Louisiana.
Yeah, all right. So then you're in
Youngsville,
Louisiana. We
Lafayette.
like the French cooking. So this is very French. So I can tell you're a Louisiana guy. This is awesome.
Yes, sir. It's yeah, Youngsville, Lafayette, Louisiana.
Okay. Well, guess what? Everything is ready. We're going to put all the ingredients in front of you.
Okay.
Now,
well,
before we get to this, I want you to do one favor for me. I want to hear one more joke since I had you hit so many good ones.
okay. The last joke is, how do you fix a hole in a pumpkin?
I don't know.
Anybody can guess? With the pumpkin pop. You gotta
Good one,
use
good
it.
one. All right. So we have have your corn, your steak, and your asparagus. So and we have an extra spoon there for the sauce. All right, my friends, you get to plate this wonderful dish. Let's see how you do. I know you love to do this part. So what do you want to put down first?
So I'm gonna put down the asparagus first,
Okay.
where it get the flavor of that beef. So then let's get a eel up in here. let's get a couple more that are yummy
Yes.
and healthy. So then throw that down. And then what you want to do is grab a spoon, grab the corn confetti corn, and then kind of do like that. Kind of like you get a spoon, and then kind of like you're spreading the sauce. So you want to, yeah, just like that. Well, you get a little bit of that right there. So now, you want to grab a piece of ribeye, I'm assuming. Is that ribeye?
It's actually, it's filet.
Filet. So you want to grab your filet,
Good.
and then put it right over that asparagus. And then what you can do now, all that beautiful sauce,
Yep.
stir it a little bit, and then grab, and then put all over that steak. And then,
That looks awesome.
oh
You
yeah,
gonna finish with any of your parsley?
yeah, that would work. So now, what you want to do is, let's see, maybe one right here,
Perfect.
and then some right here, and then one sneaky one over there.
I love it. All right,
Give
let's
it
give,
that
let's give the plate a good wipe and we'll get a picture of it.
Okay.
All right, there it is. Voila. Perfect. Nice job. Give me 5. Good job. Thank you so much. Would you like me to cut?
Yeah, yeah. So what kind of cook are we looking for this again?
So I did a nice medium there. A little under what we wanted, but we got another piece over here we can try. This one might be a little more under too. There's our medium well. And then this one's a little thicker. That's a medium rare.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna
looks
cut.
super tender.
It does, doesn't it? I'm gonna cut this all up for you, and I want you to be the first one to try the steak. There you go. Tell me what you think.
Okay. So now I'm gonna try the steak. Tender. That's flavorful.
So all that
That
flavor
good
in our sauce, that all our drippings made a big difference, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
Good call on that.
Now I'm gonna try some asparagus. So let's get
This
a
is the
little.
one that had the smoked paprika on it, correct? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So a little bit of corn will give it that good flavor. And you can taste a little bit of that gravy. And I think you can maybe taste a tad bit of the smoky flavor, where you get that tad bit of good taste. So now, time to pour the corn confetti, or confetti corn. So let's get a good bite, just like this. If you want the best result, eat it with the gravy. It's good. That's good. That's some good cooking.
Thank you for helping us do this and telling us what you like, and then sharing your wisdom about cooking and your talents with the people that are watching today. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And it was our pleasure to be part of this today.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you.
Thank you.